never ends. It's like they don't know how calendars work.
Yeah.
If your show is on every week and never takes a break, you can't have a season.
Yes.
We take a break between Christmas and New Year's, so we have that time off where we can say this is the end of this season, start of next season.
Nevertheless, my lower third is going to say season premiere.
It's not. It's not though. Our season. Our season runs like a calendar year. What's it say now? What's it say now?
It's still the same thing. I just changed the color. I gotta think of something else. Hold on a second.
I think we're still waiting on Yoshihiro Hitotatsu. Anyway.
And soot.
Exactly. There you go. There you go.
I was actually working on the Finn Balor Wacky Waving Inflatable Arm Flailing 2-man. So we'll see. But I won't be able to do it right now, though, because that's a lot more in-depth work than what my normal terrible ones are.
Definitely. I'm excited for that.
Yes. Don't be.
All right.
I've got him like that. And then I've got the Wacky Waving Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Men. I just need to combine the two.
And if you could somehow make a GIF of that, it would be the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I have never made a GIF in my life.
Yeah.
I do not think I have that ability. I barely have the ability to Photoshop. I don't know why you think I'd be able to do that.
MS Paint.
Yes. Funny thing is, I do actually have Photoshop on my computer.
Have you been using it, or have you just been using MS Paint?
I've just been using MS Paint.
Exactly.
Mainly because it takes a lot of CPU usage to run PowerPoint, and I can't do it while I'm actually doing this too.
PowerPoint?
You
said PowerPoint.
Weird. Photoshop. Anywho, I'm ready when you are.
After dark. Let's start. This is 216.
Ooh.
And Rundown 216 says, why the hell are we still doing this shit? In 3, 2, 1, record. This week's episode of The Rundown is brought to you by the Helmsley Dance Studio. Learn to flail your arms and legs in a slightly coordinated fashion at Helmsley Dance Studio. Bring in a trombone and get your first class for half price.
At least he went to the Vince McMahon School of White Dancing.
It was brought to my attention last week that the song that I had chosen as the music bed for the fake sponsor, I thought I had mixed it correctly, but it was too loud and you could not hear me. Don't worry, it wasn't a very good joke.
I don't even remember it.
Exactly. On Twitter last week, Nikki Bella compared herself to Queen Elizabeth II and being the longest reigning monarch in England's history. The problem with that? Among the myriad, she called her Queen Elizabeth XI. In addition to Roman numerals, what else doesn't Nikki understand?
Longest reigning women's champion?
Nobody said that.
Huh?
Nobody said that.
She's the longest reigning Divas champion. Yeah, well, you know what? I could create a fucking title belt and call myself the longest reigning champion of that belt. You're not even the longest reigning fucking champion of anything else. You're a Divas champion. A belt that looks like a tramp stamp.
The only reason you haven't lost the belt is because of your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I hate you.
I know.
I hate you.
Mm-hmm.
And I actively root for a career-ending injury.
I actively root for her to puncture one of her tit implants.
Because I don't want you to die, because that's cruel.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be very happy if suddenly half your left leg fell off.
I would be very happy if you suddenly became a paraplegic and John Cena had to spoon feed you. I would be very happy.
How much do you think it would cost? How much do you think it would cost to bribe Paige into going full D-Lo on her?
I think you'd have a better chance with Tamina. They've got a family history.
And should I start a GoFundMe?
Let's start a GoFundMe.
Okay. You know what else needs to start?
The show.
The theme song.
The theme song.
I'm thinking go full D-Lo as an early front runner.
Yeah, so far. We're only like 5 minutes into the episode, though.
Not even. 3.
Not even.
More likely to be a legitimate Hall of Famer than Earl Hebner. It's episode 216 of The Rundown. My name is Adam. I'm your host, and it is Tuesday, September the 15th, 2015. Joining me this week, as per usual, all by our lonesomes, Troy and his magical Photoshop.
Yes. Yes, sir. Nothing yet, but the night is young. And please, Earl Hebner is a pioneer in counting to 3.
Yes, it was announced this week that Earl Hebner is the next inductee in the TNA Hall of Fame, which is really about the same thing as being named Employee of the Month at Dairy Queen.
How shallow is your history that's your inductee? Like, that's the guy that you do. That's the guy that you do like.
That's the guy that's
years in.
That's the guy that's fourth in line. Or is it fifth in line?
Fourth in line is Earl Hebner, a guy who spent more time in WWE than he did in TNA at this point.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. Pretty soon, Christian Cage will be inducted in,
and
R-Truth will be inducted in,
and they're doing his induction at what's basically amounts to a house show in Tennessee because it's in his hometown.
Oh, okay. Well, join us at
or his home state, anyways.
Join us this weekend at Bob's Barbecue for TNA Impact Wrestling, where Earl Hebner will be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame, a fictitious imaginary place that only exists on the internet and on Wikipedia pages.
The internet. It's a magical place. Let's see if we have any updates from last week. We have that, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I know there was one. Oh, yes. So as we talked about last week, WWE Divas Paige and Alicia Fox had an altercation at a restaurant with a drunk customer in Baltimore, Maryland. Supposedly, I mean, we intimated that this was a stunt for Total Divas. According to Paige swears that it was not. Paige appeared at the Pittsburgh Wizard World Comic Con event this weekend and reportedly said the Total Divas cameras were not present during the altercation. It was not filmed for the show. Paige explained that she and Fox were singing karaoke because fuck kayfabe, that's why. And the fan in question was filming them sing with her cell phone. When they asked the woman not to film them because kayfabe, you know, she became angry and threw her drink in their direction. Management then got involved to calm the angry fan, but Paige and Fox decided to leave on their own and were not thrown out. Again, and that is Paige's side of the story. So, yeah, Sean says it's going to be awkward when Earl Hebner gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, but Dave beats the shit out of him and stands in for him. Why are there two Dave Hebners?
Nice.
What else do we? I don't think we have any other updates except for one thing, a brief, kind of an offshoot of a brief thing you mentioned last week. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE is gauging interest in a potential return for the Hardy Boys. The company has begun talking about Jeff Hardy on TV again, and WWE asked fans on Twitter if they were interested in a Hardy Boys return. No.
I am.
No.
I am.
No.
Yes, I am.
Despite the fact that Jeff has been persona non grata since he left the company and was then arrested for drug use right fucking after. And then was given the TNA World Championship anyways.
Yay, TNA. Hey, you got name checked twice in an episode.
Yeah.
I'm all for Matt Hardy getting back. Not so much for Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff can fuck right off.
Can Jeff even walk anymore?
Who cares? He's apparently Ethan Carter III's personal assistant now after he lost a match last week.
This is exactly why I stopped watching TNA.
Yeah. It's like the Bella Twins, but even less people care.
Yeah. There is a handful of really good wrestlers in there that really, really, really need the company to go under so they can go back to ROH. I'm looking at you, Wolves.
Right. Let's
And Mr. Kennedy to an extent.
Kennedy.
Anderson.
Kennedy. Let's listen to a voicemail.
Let's.
It is Sal. It is the voice of the voicemail. Once again, here to recap the week that was in the WWE. However, I do want to make a quick correction from last week. At the end of the show, there was a clip of a man screaming, "Take your pants down, take your pants down, you no good, greedy son of a bitch." That was not Mick Foley. That's actually what John Cena says to Nikki Bella every time they have sex.
Oh!
Speaking of Nikki Bella, and speaking of no good, greedy, heartless sons of bitches, in 2013, when CM Punk was the longest reigning WWE champion of all time, in his match against The Rock, because the Shield interfered again, Vince McMahon came out and restarted the match. So last night, when they did Twin Magic again, which is probably, no lie, for the 76th time since Nikki Bella's been champ, Stephanie McMahon came out and said, "Oh, Charlotte wins, but by DQ, Nikki's still the champion." Why didn't she restart the match? Oh, wait. I know why she didn't restart the match. Because just like Nikki Bella's padded title reign, they just want to do anything they can to break AJ Lee's record so that Nikki Bella can be the longest reigning Divas champion of all time. And just like Troy said, and now Charlotte's going to win it this Sunday. So, fuck you, WWF, fuck you, Creative, fuck you, Kevin Dunn, and so on and so forth, because that's garbage. Just straight garbage. Like, if you're going to come out there, then restart the fucking match.
Yes.
Okay. How many times do you believe that Nikki Bella has defended her title belt in her record-breaking reign?
I'm going to guess it's a single-digit number.
11.
11. Okay.
How many times do you believe that AJ Lee defended her title when she set the record?
I don't remember, but I feel you're making a point here.
11. So this pains me physically to do. I'm going to defend the title reign a little bit of Nikki Bella.
Get off my show.
I am not defending Nikki Bella.
Okay,
I'm defending title reign. It is not a padded title reign because AJ Lee's was padded too. Okay, so the two of them had very similar runs with the belts. That's not the issue here. The issue, of course, is that Nikki Bella is a horrifically bad wrestler, and AJ Lee is a terrific wrestler. But the title reign, and it's about the same. It's about a wash. It's the problem with it is, honestly, it's been the booking. AJ Lee was a great wrestler and was a great champion, but let's not forget she was an afterthought most of the time, which is what the belt has been since it kind of debuted. So, yes, Nikki Bella broke the record because of the fact that, yeah, it was a slap in the face to AJ Lee, who obviously had problems with the Bellas. And yeah, she won it because she's, downing John Cena's cum. than using his little cum towels to wipe her face off. That goes without saying. But the title reign is not the issue here. The number of times she defended is not the issue here. The problem is the person that is defending it. And Nikki Bella, you suck.
Yes.
Continue with this voicemail.
First, I want to go over to the side here. Sean says, bring back Matt and Jeff. Hardys versus Dudleys versus Edge and Christian one more time in a TLC match. Except this time TLC stands for Tapioca, Lazy Boys, and Cripples.
How come we've never had a tag team called the Lazy Boys?
Can't imagine why that wouldn't happen.
And second of all, I like to think that this Sunday's Night of Champions is going to be a good pay-per-view, and maybe with Sting and Jones Cena against Seth Rollins, it could be. But we still have crappy matches like Rusev versus Ziggler. Nobody cares. We have, I'm assuming Ryback versus Kevin Owens is not going to end with Kevin Owens winning the IC title.
Why would you say
and
that?
then, what else does Night of Champions really have? You have the Bray Wyatt family, the Wyatt family versus the Shield-ish with Baron Corbin, maybe?
It's not Baron Corbin.
I don't know.
It's not Baron
I
Corbin.
might just watch football. But talk to you guys next week.
Hey, Sal, do you have the network? Because if you do, WWE doesn't care if you tune in. Because they already got your money.
He then left us another voicemail.
Ooh.
Because one was not enough this week. Let's see what.
Took a little
One thing I
smoky
forgot. Please answer me this question. In regards to Ryback's promo, how does one become the master of Feed Me More?
I'm not sure he could have said that any more creepily. It's a little disturbing how the way that came out.
That was very nice and actually very funny. Good job, Sal. Moving on.
All right.
All right. We love you, Sal. Thank you so much for continuing to offer us voicemails.
Thank you.
Because Lord knows nobody else is.
Thank you very much for being the only reason my voicemail box doesn't automatically delete itself, because it'll do that if I don't get messages. We actually do have a very special message from a very special guest that we will get to later on in the show. So look, that's a tease. That's what we call a tease in the radio business. Later on in the show.
That's an 80-20 tease.
A very special voicemail. Since we're talking about Night of Champions, speaking of pay-per-views, according to the Wrestling Observer, a survey was sent to fans in attendance at last week's Raw, asking about their preference in pay-per-view start times. Among the questions asked was whether they would prefer a start time of 1 p.m. No. 5 p.m. Maybe. 7 p.m. Better. Or 8 p.m. Of course, WWE pay-per-views traditionally start at 8 p.m. with this year's SummerSlam and WrestleMania starting at 7 to accommodate their 4-hour durations. Why would you ever start a pay-per-view at 1 p.m.?
I have no fucking clue. Wow.
I just ate lunch. Let's watch WrestleMania.
Wow.
That makes no sense to me.
It does.
I would be perfectly fine with them with all the pay-per-views starting at 11 o'clock, because that means they would end at 10 and I would get in bed at a reasonable time for work in the morning on Monday morning. But 7 or 8, not 1, and not 5, and definitely not 1. 5 p.m. is still a little bit too early for me. You apparently have no thoughts on the matter whatsoever.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was waiting for your input, but you apparently have nothing to add. So,
I don't have anything to add. Sorry.
Let's talk about racism.
Ooh,
because that's been the thread, the through line to the last like 6 episodes.
It's been pretty bad.
Yeah. So just over a week after Zahara Schreiber was fired for posting Nazi-related pictures to her Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
Another NXT diva has been hit with controversy over racist social media posts she's made in the past. Noop Al Uribe
Good job.
Signed WWE back in March and has been working in NXT as Jasmine. Made posts to her Twitter account, which were discovered by Reddit and are considered racist towards African Americans, including retweeting a tweet with ninjas in it and just adding word. And then calling another black wrestler her slave because there's a picture of him carrying her around. Yeah, so like I said, she directly uses the N-word along with variations of the word in posts made in 2012. She was 16 at the time. Jesus Christ, I'm old. She also posted a picture of her Instagram page last year working for Pure Wrestling Association, referring to a black wrestler as her slave as he carried her to the ring. Al Aribi, a Toronto native, competes in NXT as Jasmine, has been competing regularly at live events and has been on NXT television once, appearing in Tyler Breeze's Entourage at TakeOver Unstoppable in May. Sean says, "Tell me, I did not see that." Zara Schreiber. The posts were made when she was 16 and 17. Like we said, WWE has issued a statement to 411 in regards to the social media messages, which says, quote, WWE conducted a thorough investigation and determined that Al Aribi's Twitter account was used without her knowledge when she was 16 and 17 years old. Jasmine remains apologetic for any offensive remarks that were made. So
I think the real issue here is
she doesn't have dick pics of Seth Rollins. I think it's
she doesn't have dick pics of Seth Rollins. That is true. I totally believe she made those posts, and I also totally believe that Vince McMahon is like, well, black people can say it, so she's black, right? And I think that that's probably what we're going on here. They might maybe be a little bit more forgiving because of her age at the time and just kind of using this, oh, it was used without her regard, even though she didn't immediately take them down, which if somebody either logged into my account or hacked my account and was posting things or, saying, oh, this is my slave, I probably would delete it as soon as I got into my account again.
Yeah, right.
But good on you, WWE, for, kind of doing something.
For your thorough investigation.
Yeah, their thorough investigation was going up to her and being like, hey, did you make all the posts about those ninjas? And she's like, yeah, when I was 16. And they're like, aren't you black? She's like, well, no, I'm not. I'm actually, I'm Arabic. And,
Close enough. Just say you were hacked.
Close enough. You were hacked. The guy that was carrying you, totally the guy who did it. Because we don't employ him, right? It was him, right? Okay. Well, that's what we're going to go with. So if anyone asks, you were hacked, and we'll just kind of, everyone will forget about it. Perfect.
Speaking of NXT and the actual Divas Revolution that's going on in NXT, WWE.com has announced the main event for the October TakeOver show, which is now called TakeOver Respect, on October 7th. The main event, we'll see Sasha Banks get her rematch for the NXT Women's Championship in a 30-minute Iron Man match.
Woo!
The preview reads, the rivalry between these two divas. Come on, fingers. Thank you. It fucking scrolled up, and then the menu bar popped up at the top, and I couldn't get it to go away. And then I just lost it. There it is. Ooh, that was loud. The rivalry between... We'll just edit that whole part out. The rivalry between these two divas runs deep. After months of coming up short in championship matches, Bayley finally found the champion's spirit within, going on a tear through the best competition NXT had to offer, defeating Emma, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch to earn a title match with Sasha in Brooklyn. While the match meant everything to Bayley, the boss dismissed her challenger before the bell even rang. Having been called up to WWE's main roster as part of her Divas Revolution, the Team Bad member brushed Bayley off, saying that she wasn't worth her time. Fueled by Sasha's disrespect, Bayley laid it all on the line at the sold-out Barclays Center. Despite the boss's best attempts to re-injure her hand, the happy-go-lucky diva, not the best way to describe a champion, fought through the pain and several nasty spills to connect with a reverse Hurricane Rana off the ropes. Awesome. And a belly-to-Bayley suplex to capture the title. Having finally reached the top of the mountain, Bayley stood tall with the NXT Women's Championship in hand, soon to be joined in celebration by Charlotte and Becky. Sasha got back in the ring and hugged her rival before the four divas who changed the face of women's wrestling took a curtain call at NXT's biggest event ever. As it turns out, the last chapter in this grueling rivalry hadn't been written yet. Bayley and Sasha Banks will have another opportunity to change the game at NXT TakeOver. Who will go the distance in a grueling 30-minute WWE Iron Man match and walk out of Orlando with the NXT Women's Championship? What are you showing? What is this? You need to say something so it pops up on the screen and I can read it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get that back on there. Hold on a second. There we go.
Is there any way that we can be lucky enough that the Bella twins have some racist Twitter posts? Nice.
Hashtag Nikki made history. Hashtag by lynching black people.
Who posted? Did you post that?
That's me. Awesome. Please log into Twitter and head on over to @RockstarTroy and retweet the tweet I just had. And hopefully we can have somebody scavenge up some racist tweets by Nikki Bella and we can finally get that bitch fired.
Let's log into my phone here and then we'll click on Twitter.
This is good for all of our viewers.
Well, I'm just doing it in the same. So those who are listening at home, we're not going to miss any of the show because I'm going to do the same thing that they're doing.
Okay,
and
yeah,
I'm in the Rundowns Twitter here, so I'm going to scroll all the way up to the top. And
get your wife involved in this one. I know how much she loves Nikki Bella.
She doesn't have a Twitter. And I'm going to retweet that. I'm going to retweet it. I'm going to favorite it too, but I'm definitely going to retweet that.
The Rundown Wrestling Podcast just retweeted one of my tweets.
And then I'm going to go to my Twitter and go here. And I think I'm following you on Twitter. I'm going to just get a search for you.
Yes. Add Rockstar Troy.
There you are. And we'll retweet that.
Hey, look. It's someone who could be on the show right now, but is not.
Yeah, Andy's too good for us. We're not going to talk about him. I got followed by Melanie Rodriguez. I don't know who the fuck that is.
Anyways,
back on topic.
Good podcasting.
Sean says, Adam just uttered the phrase, come on, fingers. Looking at Tamina pictures again, are we? I didn't say come on fingers. I said, come on, finger.
Although that would explain why you're having problems scrolling.
A little sticky, a little film on the screen. Sean says, are you saying Nikki Becky lynched someone?
Yes.
Becky Lynch.
Get it?
Comes. Why did I? Never mind. It's a Freudian slip. Andy says, miss you guys making my own podcast right now. Shut the fuck up. He also says, good podcasting moment, guys. Again, shut the fuck up. And OMG, great radio. For the third time, shut the fuck up.
Guess what, Andy? We're going to have our own podcast with blackjack and hookers.
Nobody likes you because you're too good for us now.
Yeah. Captain, I'm a teacher. I have a steady job.
Each says the guy that's the main character of the wildly popular Shadow Vane podcast. And I am. I am wildly popular.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the podcast is wildly popular. Not yet. Go to patreon.com/shadowvane and buy some shit so I can get paid.
I know I did.
Hey, Adam Verbenak is here. I don't know who that is. That's a new person. Hello, new person.
Yeah.
But he retweeted your tweet.
He did retweet my tweet, mostly because he follows me because he's my cousin.
Awesome. Hello, Troy's cousin. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Troy's
let's
cousin.
have question time, shall we? Question time. Remember, for those of you who have not, who are new to the show, this is a fairly new segment where if there's a website called Quora.com where you can post questions that are just burning in your mind, and then other people on the website who are experts in that field will answer your questions. And we,
of course, are experts in every field.
And these are all 100% honest questions that have been posted to Quora.com. This week's question: if WWE is fake, then who or what decides who wins or who gets to be more superstar than others?
John Cena does.
Yes, John Cena gets to decide who is the most superstar.
I love Smarks.
Mm-hmm.
So, see, I always want to answer these honestly. I always want to be like, okay, so here's an explanation of how wrestling.
You did answer
did,
it, honestly.
yeah. That is true. You know who decides who's the most superstar? You, the WWE universe. You decide, because you have sat here for the past 276 days, booing mercilessly at Nikki Bella, and because of that, she's just keeps winning, and she's still champion. So maybe you don't make that big of a difference. Maybe, just maybe, there's a little bit of politics involved in this. See the guy, yeah. See the guy that's
the hell you say.
The guy who has 2 championship belts on his shoulder right now, he's at that position because he made some really good friends. And right now, because he's at that position, he can get away with literal murder. Dick pics of him out there doesn't bother him anything. Screw around with one of the NXT divas. Nope, didn't lose your push either.
Are you saying Seth Rollins killed someone?
His finishing move was the curb stomp. All I'm saying is he probably could get away with tweeting out some ninja stuff because he is part of Minion, and that's like black, right?
It's close enough.
That's close enough. Anything that's not this is black. So anything that's not this.
Yeah, we really need to change. We should really change the name of this podcast to the palest guys in the room.
Yeah. Bada bing, palest guys in the room.
Look at that wipe my fucking head.
How you doing?
I'm fucking blinding the camera. All right.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Another good podcasting.
You're from Wisconsin. I'm from New Hampshire. The whitest guys in the room.
Mm-hmm. There's a podcast name.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to help us out in naming our new podcast,
we have a name for the podcast.
Yeah, it's just a name that apparently is widely used.
You stole the name from me.
Yep.
It's not. No, I searched iTunes. There is not another podcast named the Pen 15 Club.
I did as well, and I searched YouTube, and even though, or not YouTube, Facebook, and even though there was a lot of Pen 15, there was not Pen 15 Club. Yeah. So,
but anything involving Pen 15 Club is completely unavailable as a name on Gmail. So anyway, do we want to let the people into what the fuck we're talking about?
Sure.
Go ahead. It's your baby.
Well, we are attempting to start doing a new podcast on.
We are considering doing a podcast.
Considering doing a podcast on Thursday nights so that we can talk about wrestling on Tuesdays and talk about some movies on Thursdays. So what we're thinking is possibly picking a movie once a week, having us both watch it, and then just kind of talk about it. Just two dudes, possibly some other guys if those other fuckers want to come on, and And apparently I need to have a crash course in how to put together a podcast.
Yeah, because I'm not doing it.
And how to upload it to iTunes as well. And
you can now you can have a Podomatic account at $9.99 a month, and I can have the one for this show, and you can have the one for that show.
There you go. Yeah, we're working. Yeah,
Sean wants to join the Pen 15 Club.
Ooh, well, guess what? We need to get 15 people, so it makes sense.
No, we don't.
No.
That would be the worst podcast ever.
Yeah, we'd be happy to have you. Or I know you're in contact with a little fucker in the garbage can, so he's welcome too.
Here's the thing: is the thing about this idea is A, do I have time?
Mm-hmm.
B, I don't have time.
Yeah,
especially
and C,
since C, we're going from a wrestling podcast, which is like the most common thing on the internet, to a movie podcast, which is also the most common thing on the internet. We're breaking new ground, by not breaking ground.
Well, we want to, kind of just We don't want to be your first choice for wrestling podcasts or your first choice for movie podcasts. We want to be like your third one, the one where like once you get through all your other podcasts, you're like, oh shit, I got like 3 episodes of the Pen 15 Club. I'll probably listen to some of them.
I don't know how you decided on movies for this. I'm the one who told you if I ever do another podcast, I'm going to call it the Pen 15 Club, and you fucking ran with that. And
did.
And go, we're going to talk about movies
because we all like movies. Or we could just talk
about watch movies.
Well, no, we could just talk about anything. Really, it doesn't have to be movies. I mean, I made a page for it, but that can be easily edited.
Yes. Anyway, so coming soon, possibly, maybe. From the Rundown Podcast Network.
We're going to make a network. We're going to make the Rundown Network.
We're going to make our own network with hookers and beer.
That's right. Blackjack.
It is hookers and blackjack. I just got, and not only did I get yelled at by you, I got yelled at by the Peanut Gallery over here.
That's right. The Pen 15 Gallery.
During an NXT talent meeting last Thursday, WWE officials discussed the company's pay structure for NXT roster members. PW Insider reports that Senior Director of Talent Development Kenyon, I'm going to pronounce that Seaman, and several coaches were present and informed the talent that as it stands, they will be paid based on their developmental contracts without bonuses based on the houses for shows like TakeOver Brooklyn and the December UK tour. Talent was told that the reason for this has to do with the fact that currently NXT is run at a loss for the company as an investment in WWE's long-term future, with the salaries for talent, coaches, and the cost of running the performance center taken into account. As has been talked about before, WWE covers the hotel and rental car cost for NXT talent on the road, which is not something they do for main roster talent. NXT talent also make money off their merchandise. That being said, there is still some frustration among talent about the decision, as they knew the December tour would be big, along with the sellout for TakeOver Brooklyn and the draw that NXT provides for the network. According to PW Insider, while NXT talent, they aren't getting the bonuses for the shows, like we said, some top NXT talent have received contract restructuring over the summer so that they are making 6-figure downsides. In addition, when NXT talent works main roster shows, they are getting bonuses for those events, just not for NXT shows. In reference to how the NXT brand runs at a loss due to the performance center being included in those expenses, WWE is providing high-level fitness and nutritional experts for the developmental roster, as well as medical staff, professional and financial development help for their future beyond just being a WWE performer, and more. The PW Insider reports that it is as part of the company trying to change the way the business works. So, if anybody's been curious, because I know there's been some griping about how the NXT talent is paid for their efforts. So.
The bigger issue is the independent contractors that we got in previously Samoa Joe, currently Blue Pants, then also obviously Gargano and Ciampa.
Yeah.
And I really
should win the Dusty Classic.
Oh, spoiler alert. So the I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you did. You said spoiler alert.
They could have won it.
I don't know. I just said they should.
They should. They should actually get signed to contracts.
That too.
I want to remind everyone that six figures for WWE is probably like $2 over $99,000.
Yeah. Hey, 100,000 is still 6.
100,000 is still 6 figures. It's probably not much more than that.
Or they're paying them $1,000 and counting the digits after the decimal point.
Ooh, good call.
Sean says, wrestling podcasts, common. Movie podcasts, common. Wrestling movie podcasts, license to print money.
License to print money for like 5 episodes.
So we're going to talk about No Holds Barred.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about Ready to Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
You've got The Wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Beyond the Mat.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, I was going to say Hitman Hart Wrestling the Shadows, but that's not really a movie, is it? We can count that. You've got all those what the fuck is that Mexican guy's name? Del Santo, all those luchador movies from Mexico. We got all those. We got that whole vast collection to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see that being a license to print money. Also, podcasting is not a license to print money.
That's true. That's true. Hey, you want to be sick?
Excuse me.
According to PWInsider.com, Tough Enough finalist ZZ reported to the WWE Performance Center and was training in the ring with the developmental roster yesterday.
Hey, you know what's funny? I consider the mark of a wrestler to be someone who is in worse shape than me. That's a future WWE champion right there.
While not officially announced, it looks as if he has signed a deal with WWE, developmental, of course. Once he lost in the show, he noted in several interviews that he intended to continue to pursue a future in the wrestling business. Please don't. Please don't. You're awful. Please don't.
You know what you should pursue? You should pursue a career in playing Russian roulette professionally.
You should pursue a career in going back to Louisiana and shutting the fuck up. That's what you should pursue a career in.
You should pursue a career in this.
Oh, beautiful. On that note, let's see what the trivia has for us this week.
For those of you new to the show, the trivia is where Adam defeats me mercilessly. But this time, every question I get right is going to be worth 15 points. Every question I get wrong is going to be
worth 6 points.
Is worth 6 points. And every question that Adam gets right is 1 point. Every question he gets wrong is negative 15 points. I had a good feeling about this.
I'm sensing some shenanigans. All right.
Evil shenanigans.
Oh crap! I almost dropped my phone. All right, we can delete that one. We can delete that one.
Jeez, you are a little cum fingers today.
Oops, butterfingers. All right.
Gentlemen, it's quiz time. Although with predictions for Night of Champions, I doubt you guys will be able to get to a quiz. But
wrong again, fucker! Don't make assumptions.
If you don't, you can always keep this one in the can. This is what I dubbed.
Yeah, he said in the can.
It's the same thing that John said.
Andy forgot because the last time Andy was on the show, he claimed he was going to do this big SummerSlam thing where the top whatever moments of SummerSlam were going to be discussed, and that never happened. So I had originally planned a Night of Champions quiz. I started writing it. It was absolutely atrocious because Night of Champions typically aren't good. So I decided to make a SummerSlam quiz.
Yes, on my time hop today. Was tweets about the Night of Champions from a few years ago when Daniel Bryan defeated Randy Orton for the WWE Championship thanks to the fast count by referee Brian Armstrong.
Nice.
Let's get started, shall we? Question number 1. What venue was SummerSlam held in from 2009 to 2014?
Let's get started with the easiest fucking question ever.
Oh my god. Oh shit. It's LA.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the fucking name of the place is. It's where the Lakers play, right?
And the Clippers.
The fuck is the name of that place?
It's named after a famous office supply store.
Oh, it's the Staples Center.
There you go.
Jesus Christ. I'm a basketball fan, and I should fucking know that.
I'm not. My wife wanted me to point out that I do have you can't see because the camera is pointing this way, but over on the wall over here is a SummerSlam poster that I won from God knows how long ago.
You fucking cheater. Negative 15 points.
It does say Staples Center up there at the top. But I did not. You can go back and watch the YouTube video. I did not look in that direction at all during the course of that question.
We're going WWE rules here, no replays.
It was Twin Magic, is what it was.
The answer is the Staples Center. For 6 straight years, they had SummerSlam at the Staples Center for some weird reason. Question number 2. SummerSlam, along with WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and the Royal Rumble, are known as the Big Four. According to PWI, what event along with these 4 made up the Classic 5?
What event, in addition to Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series made up the Classic Five.
I don't read PW Insider.
I don't either.
The Classic Five. I'm assuming it's got to be like a WCW event, right? What was
I
their
don't
big
think so.
thing again? No, you don't think so? Is it still a WWE event?
Yeah.
It's got to be Payback, right?
Yeah, Fatal 4-Way.
In your house.
Your cousin says that even with your special scoring, I'll still win by 20. I'm going to say King of the Ring.
Probably.
And the answer is the King of the Ring. Apparently, there was a time
Point for
period where
me.
they labeled that as the Classic Five.
Hmm.
Question number 3 at SummerSlam 1998. Who fought in a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship?
I think I know this thanks to WWE 2K4. No, whatever fucking year that was.
You said 1998.
Yeah. WWE 13 that had the Attitude Era mode. I think that's what this was in.
I'm gonna say Jericho and Benoit.
In 98 in WWE?
No, that's not right. I'm gonna say. Shawn Michaels.
And oh god, Troy's falling asleep.
Fuck, this is hard. I'm gonna go Shawn Michaels, and I'm gonna go. No,
Don't say Razor Ramon. Don't say Razor Ramon. Don't
Yeah.
say
No, he was gone by then. 1998. Maybe I don't fucking know. You do an answer first.
I'm pretty sure it was Triple H and The Rock.
I'm pretty sure it was Triple H and The Rock.
And that match was contested by Triple H and The Rock. Question number 4. Who did The Rock lose the Undisputed Championship to at SummerSlam 2002?
Who did The Rock lose the Undisputed Championship to at SummerSlam 2002?
Oh, it's a tough one. I'm gonna say
Lesnar was 2003 because we were there when we were there when he won the Royal Rumble.
yeah. So it had been before him. So I'm gonna say. Oh, I'm so terrible at this. Let's go with Kurt Angle.
I don't know, so I'm going to say Triple H again. Why the fuck not? Let's see what happens.
And for anybody who's been listening to any promos for the past 2 years, of course, The Rock lost the WWF Undisputed
Are you off on
Championship
this?
to Brock Lesnar.
I guess
That
we
was
are.
2003.
Question number 5. Speaking of Brock, his first SummerSlam match since returning to the WWE in 2012 was against whom?
Was it not John Cena?
You would think so. How many people has he fought since he got back? Not many.
Yeah.
I'm
sticking with Cena on this one.
I think so.
Okay.
We're gonna have to go with Cena.
Well, that night in 2012, Brock fought the cerebral assassin Triple H.
Oh yeah.
Question number 6. In 2006, SummerSlam emulated from Boston, Massachusetts.
I was
The
there.
night featured many highly touted moments, including 2 legends who fought in an I Quit match. Who fought in the match and who won?
He's very excited about this question.
He was probably there. I was there. I got on TV during Hulk Hogan's entrance.
So it was Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. No, Hogan fought Orton.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, because you have a leg up on this because you're probably there.
I wasn't probably there. I already said I was there.
There, yeah. 2006.
Yeah.
So two legends. I quit match. Was it Michaels and Taker?
I'm pretty sure it was Foley and Flair,
I was thinking Flair.
and I'm pretty sure Foley won.
Oh, I forgot to pick a winner. Mick Foley won that match.
The answer is Mick Foley against Ric Flair, and Ric Flair won an I Quit match against Mick Foley,
Negative 10 points.
threatening to hit Melina with a barbed wire baseball bat.
Oh God,
That's when
yes.
Mick Foley was doing favors for Melina
Ugh,
for some odd reason.
that relates to the end of last
Question
week's
number
episode.
7. In 2005, Hulk Hogan fought somebody for the first time ever in a one-on-one match. Who did Hulk Hogan fight that night?
Every black person ever.
Who did Hulk Hogan fight at the 2005 SummerSlam? I'm pretty sure that was Shawn Michaels in one of the greatest matches of all time.
I'm pretty sure that was Junkyard Doug.
Look, if you're not going to take this seriously,
No. I have to make some black jokes about Hulk Hogan. You can't not at this point.
that was Akeem the African Dream.
That's right. It was Bobby Lashley. I'd pay money to watch Bobby Lashley and Hulk Hogan fight.
It was Sheldon Benjamin.
It was the Nation of Domination.
D'Lo Brown. I'm still. Do you have an actual answer, or are you just going to name black people for the rest of the night?
We'll go with Shawn Michaels.
I think it was Shawn Michaels.
Hulk Hogan, otherwise known as the racist who will not be named. Well, too bad I named him. I don't work for the WWE, so I can do that. He fought Shawn Michaels. Question number 8. In 1994, who fought for the WWF Championship?
Oh, 94. The WWF Championship at SummerSlam 94. That's a little outside of my wheelhouse.
It's outside of everyone's real house. Nobody watches the fucking 1994.
that was Doink the Clown and the Mountie.
Let's see here. 1994. So we're gonna go.
I think I remember.
Ow!
I'm pretty sure that was the match that was Lex Luger versus Yokozuna, and if Lex Luger lost, he never got another title match ever. And he didn't win the title because he.
And guess what? He got another title shot.
You just peaked so hard. I have no idea what you just whispered.
He got another title shot after that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just letting you know.
Are you agreeing with me then?
Yeah, I'm agreeing. Well, no, let's go with British Bulldog and Bret Hart.
That was 92, and that was for the Intercontinental title.
So you're saying they had a match?
The answer is
yeah, but not that year and not for that title.
Semantics.
Why do you hate Jews all of a sudden?
Bret Hart versus Owen Hart.
Oh, I got one half of it right, bitch.
Inside a steel cage.
Okay.
Question number 9. Speaking of Bret, 1997, Bret fought The Undertaker for the WWF Championship.
Bret fucked the
If
Undertaker?
Bret didn't win the belt, what would he never do again?
Have a brother? Oh!
Ouch.
He would never wrestle for WWE again.
I have no idea, so I'm going to go with that one.
You can't just steal my answers.
Oh, shut up.
And the answer is he would never again sleep with Sonny. No. I'm sorry. That's not the answer. The answer is he would never again wrestle in the United States if he did not win the belt at SummerSlam. That was the stiff. And
I think we
finally,
get a half
question
point for
number
that.
10 in 2008,
so.
who fought
I got a half C on that.
SummerSlam inside Hell in a Cell?
I didn't hear the year on that.
I was making jokes about getting a half C. Can you repeat that, please?
That was the stiff. And finally,
That was the
question number 10 in 2008, who fought at SummerSlam inside Hell in a Cell?
2008 Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam.
Well, if it's not at Hell in a Cell, it's got to be Undertaker. I would think.
My guess does not involve the Undertaker, so we'll see.
Okay. So
For some reason, in my head, it's that was Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Although that might be late 2008. Maybe not.
I'm gonna go with Undertaker and Randy Orton.
Well, that was the night that The Undertaker fought Edge inside the confines of Hell in a Cell.
That's another half point for you.
I got another half C.
Good quiz. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good week.
Were you keeping track of all the half points?
Yes, you have it doesn't show up on here, but you have 3.5 points, and I have 5.5 points.
I only lost by 2 points.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, motherfuckers.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
All right, that is our special guest, so we won't play that right now. Okay. What else do we have here?
Fans, you may have noticed that our card tonight did change. Sadly,
Yeah.
Chris Jericho, China, and Sasha Banks will not be able to make it today.
And Andy's too good for us.
And Andy's too good for us.
In relation to the 2005 SummerSlam, the match that I call the greatest match of all time, Sean says that was the match where HBK bumped like a goddamn pinball all around the ring to mock Hogan. It was glorious. Yes, it was. If you have the network, watch that match because it's fantastic. That was the match that had in the lead up to it had Shawn Michaels pretending to be Hulk Hogan and going on a fake Larry King as one of the promos for that match, and also fucking glorious. That feud was hysterical, but only because of Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
Sean also wants to know, is it true ZZ named himself after his bra size? It might be.
It might be.
It might be true.
Or he named himself after the reaction he's going to get when he wrestles. I can't wait for his WWE rebranding as DD.
That's named after his bra size.
There you go.
It appears that the fabulous Freebirds
Ooh.
could see a Hall of Fame induction at WrestleMania 32. PW Insider reports that there's been a lot of talk since Michael Hayes' 20th anniversary with the company that was celebrated a few weeks ago about inducting Hayes and the Freebirds as members of the 2016 class. Nothing, of course, will be announced until Road to WrestleMania begins, but the site says it is considered a lock at this point. Also rumored to be being considered for the Hall of Fame in 2016 in Dallas is Diamond Dallas Page.
Well,
I'm okay with either of those. If only because the Freebirds gave us the Freebird rule, which makes the New Day's tag team reign amazing.
mm-hmm.
And Diamond Dallas Page is pretty awesome on his own. So,
yeah, Diamond Dallas Page is awesome. Michael Hayes totally raped a couple people, so he'll fit right in with everyone else.
Who
that's in there.
didn't back in the day?
Michael Hayes is a piece of shit who should not be employed.
Now that Doc Hendricks fellow, he was pretty cool, but. Michael P.S. Hayes can go fuck himself.
Was there ever a worse managerial pairing than Michael P.S. fucking Hayes and the Hardy Boys?
Oh God, I had forgotten about that until just now.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for bringing that back to the top of my memory.
That was a thing that happened. See, before the Hardy Boys were not always with Lita. At one point in time, they were with Michael P.S. Hayes, and then at another point in time, they were with Gang fucking Grell.
And the New Brew didn't Michael Hayes beat the shit out of them every time they lost a match? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
That was his tough love approach to the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, what a great fucking idea that was.
And then he totally raped him.
Sean says Hulk Hogan previously says racist stuff, removed from the Hall of Fame. Michael P.S. Hayes previously says racist stuff, gets elected to the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we don't know that Hogan or Snuka have been removed from the Hall of Fame, just that their profiles have been taken down.
Yeah.
Because they're winners.
Yeah, there's a difference. See, they still have the framed pictures. You know, it's underneath a couple papers on Vince McMahon's office desk. You know,
they still have their Hall of Fame rings.
Yeah.
Jimmy Snuka can't remember what it's for anymore.
Right.
But, did I get this in a box of Cracker Jack?
Did I take this off? Did I take this off the woman that I killed?
Did I steal this from that hobo I killed in Brooklyn? No, Daddy. Okay, sweetheart. It's the worst Jimmy Snuka impression ever.
I think it was really a good one.
Stab. Okay.
There you go.
According to PW Insider, the latest on the future of TNA and Destination America, the current internal schedule for the network reportedly has TNA's Impact airing on the network during October. Surprise. The internal schedule for Destination America was recently updated through Thursday, October 8th. Okay, so 1 week in October. Currently, Impact Wrestling is on the schedule to air on Wednesday, October 7th. F4WOnline.com adds that according to a source from the company, a lot of matches that were taped during the early part of the tapings that were not taped as part of an Impact episode may now be used. Those will be great TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's a TNA mixtape.
Yeah.
These matches will likely be used as part of shows to fill international commitments and may now be used for some of the U.S. commitments. The company still has not scheduled any future television tapings, but there is a deal being negotiated for tapings to be done in late November in India because they've outsourced everything else. Why not TNA Impact?
Yeah. Eventually they're just going to like have a fan sitting in the third row taping like AAA shows on his phone, and they're just gonna like superimpose TNA logo on the in the corner.
They're gonna paste some people's faces over the.
Like I'm sorry, but I don't remember EC3 having all of those Mexican tattoos all over him. It's really weird.
I don't remember him being that short.
Yeah.
We're doing a reverse flip Hurricane Rana.
He's gotten really good.
He's agile. According to the most recent episode of the Wrestling Observer Radio, there is speculation that WWE's current plan with Roman Reigns is to turn him heel. I've been saying that forever. Roman Reigns' current feud with the Wyatt family is seen as the start of a potential heel turn for Roman Reigns. The belief is that bringing in Dean Ambrose and now Jimmy Uso into the feud was to help lead towards Reigns turning heel. Reigns would become upset with Ambrose for bringing in a family member into a feud that could get him seriously hurt. Ever since Reigns broke away from the Shield, they've tried really hard to turn him into a main event player. That did not really take off. His run as a main event babyface is generally seen as a failure, so a heel turn would not be all that surprising. Yay. Maybe it'll make him interesting.
Couldn't fucking hurt. You know, Reigns was always good as the silent muscle in the back, a la Big Daddy Cool Diesel, because Diesel was, if everyone remembers, the drizzling shits on the microphone. So it would be nice maybe to have him and Ambrose both turn heel, and maybe have the two of them be your new Michaels and Diesel, or DX, or any of those other like big tall guys who are dumb. The realest cheese. There you go. Perfect example. One guy who can talk, another guy who can't fucking spell his own name. You know, let's go ahead and do something like that. Yes, we've been talking for the longest time about turning Ambrose heel, turning Reigns heel. This is what happens with creative. They don't know what the fuck to do, so they're like, let's turn them because that the show has turned 27 times since yesterday.
Right.
Because when they don't know what to do with you, they're just like, nah, fuck it. I guess you're going to now subtly turn on your ally that you've been friends with for the longest time. So I don't see it happening this Sunday for sure, because we have to have we have to have a surprise entrant or partner or whatever like that. Eric Rowan. So it's Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Savio Vega.
There it is. Savio Vega's in WWE 2K16, by the way. I find
goody.
I find that hysterical. Most likely, I wouldn't say most likely, absolutely, because of the big story mode this year is some kind of Steve Austin retrospective. So you've got to have Austin's first feud in the WWE as the ringmaster against Savio Vega.
Sweet. Well, hopefully that they can put Sean Stasiak in there, Mark Jindrak. I don't know. Let's get Jimmy Wang Bang in there as well.
We've got stunning Steve Austin is in there. So Steve Austin, when he had hair, is in the game.
Nice.
We're going back to some WCW days in the Steve Austin retrospective.
I can't wait until you have the mini game where he's sitting in front of the mirror with a razor in his hand. He's just like, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? Press A to shave head. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Still not gonna buy the game new because they fucked me over so bad last year. But
still not gonna buy the game.
Can't wait to buy it off eBay. All right, so that brings us to.
I will stick with TEW. Thank you very much.
I don't know what that is. That brings us to our Night of Champions predictions, and as promised, our special voicemail from a very special guest.
Ooh, this should be fun.
I was hoping that it would be Chet Wingstead. Unfortunately, Chet Wingstead, the Midwest's most noted meteorologist, did not leave us a voicemail this month with his Night of Champions predictions. But I'm going to say this is an even bigger scoop.
Ooh.
So
my dick is hard with attention.
It should be. It should be.
It always is.
Well, howdy, folks. It's good old JR calling into the rundown to give my predictions for the upcoming Night of Champions pay-per-view. Get to that in just a minute, but before I do, I have something to announce. As a fellow podcaster, I really respect the work you guys do week in and week out. In fact, I was so inspired by the rundown, I've recently made the decision to do a second podcast. It's all about life on the road with the WWE. It's called JR's Erotic Tales of the Road. And boy, howdy, I can tell you, I sure do have a lot of them. And you can listen to them every single week on Podcast One. That's Podcast WUN, the only podcast owned and financed exclusively by a Korean man named One. Now, if you want a quick example of an erotic road tale, I was once at a TGI Fridays in Topeka, Kansas, when I noticed a nice young lady making eyes at me from across the room. And let me tell you, folks, she was bold and she was ugly. That's just how I liked it. When she saw me looking back at her, she uncrossed her legs, and it became quite apparent she wasn't wearing any undergarments, folks. Now, normally I'm not a big fan of that because it means she was exposing the business. But I invited her to my motel room anyway, and I could damn sure tell business was about to pick up. Now, you ladies out there need to know, if you're going to get physical with old JR, you got to be tougher than a $2 steak. And this particular vixen certainly up to the challenge. First thing I did was take off my belt, hike up her skirt, and, well, I whipped her like a government mule. Then, since I was staring right down Main Street, I put my penis in her mud hole and I poked it dry. 15 rigorous minutes later, I reached for a bottle of JR's barbecue sauce, made sure to douse it all over her ample breasts. And anyone who knows Jim Ross knows exactly what I did next. I dove in face first, and, well, I slaughtered her knockers. The love making connect once again, I think my penile prowess ended up being a bit too much for her because, long story short, she ended up sprinting out of the motel room and running like a scalded dog. And if you want to hear the full story, you'll have to tune in to Podcast One to hear the rest of it.
Wait, that's not the full story?
It sounded pretty good. Also, is this JR from Dallas?
Also, does JR call his penis business?
Apparently.
Podcast WUN with 6 new episodes every day. As for my Neville and the Lucha Dragons defeat Stardust in the Ascension. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and their mystery partner defeat the Wyatt family. Rusev defeats Dolph Ziggler. The New Day retain the tag titles over those damn Dudleys. Kevin Owens defeats Ryback to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Charlotte defeats Nikki Bella to become the new Women's Champion. John Cena defeats Seth Rollins to become the new United States Champion. Seth Rollins defeats Sting to retain his WWE Championship. These predictions are all guaranteed to be accurate, folks, because I used to work at that damn place till Vince McMahon fired my ass. Until next week, As stout as my witness, this voicemail is broken in half.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Ross, ladies and gentlemen.
Gentlemen, the worst Jim Ross impression you'll ever hear on a show.
Kind enough to leave us. I don't know what you're talking about. That was obviously Jim Ross.
I'm really glad that cerebral palsy cleared up on him, though.
Did you just say cerebral palsy?
I meant Bell's palsy.
Sure you did.
I apologize to all sufferers of cerebral palsy. I did not mean to compare you to people who have Bell's palsy.
JR has cerebral palsy. By God.
By God, I have the wrong disease.
That voicemail was a goddamn car wreck. All right. Thank you, JR.
Don't do it running down. He's got a family.
We appreciate your kind words about our show.
Yes.
All right. So the
show.
The kickoff match. I'm surprised he didn't mention Deer Hunter 2015.
Oh yeah, man. You know they could get really mad if you don't mention them.
Or DDP yogurt. Kickoff match. Stardust and the Ascension, better known as the Cosmic Wasteland, versus the Lucha Dragons and Neville, better known as Why Are the Lucha Dragons and Neville teaming up?
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with this story as long as it's a way for them to actually have the Ascensions do something. So I'm going to say the Cosmic Wasteland wins.
This is tough because nobody cares about any of this shit.
That's why it's on the kickoff.
So I'm going to go with Cosmic Wasteland just because we just got a really good story about Stardust helping out with some underprivileged youth. So I think that they're going to reward him for his generous actions with the arrow.
Plus, he did have to lose to a celebrity last month. So
I'm with you. I'm going with Cosmic Wasteland.
All right. In the match, nobody gives a shit about department. We have Rusev versus Dolph Ziggler.
I give a shit.
Why?
Very tiny one.
Why?
Because I'm hoping that they'll both knock each other out, and they'll finally end this fucking feud.
It's a co-injury.
Yes.
Ziggler, right?
I'm going to go with Rusev.
Okay.
But it's probably not going to be very clean, which is the same thing I can say about Summer Rae. Sorry, Summer.
I thought the same joke.
Also, Summer Rae, Summer's Eve might be a good choice at this point. You don't know where Rusev been. Moving on.
Yeah, please. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and versus the Wyatt family.
So I think it's obvious at this point. It's Eric Rowan. He makes the most sense. It'd be a little earlier than we would expect him, but it's a built-in storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Other names that have been thrown around: Jey Uso, because his brother is injured and apparently is a hobo. Cesaro, because he's not doing anything on the show.
Mm-hmm. No, but they already took Jey Uso out. The Wyatt family did, so that's not going to be him.
That is true. It's not going to be him. I did see the backstage interview where they said it was Savio Vega or the Great Khali. Hilarious. But I would say, it's not going to be Baron Corbin. We already dispelled that because it was just a fan-made little infographic of like that. And again, WWE is not stupid enough to let that release, and also WWE does not have the foresight to actually make those things before, like 30 minutes before the match starts. So,
I think it's fairly obvious that it's going to be Kwang.
I think it's fairly obvious it's going to be Henry O'Godwin, and he's going to be upset that his gimmick got stolen.
Going to deliver a little bit of Southern justice.
That's right. He's going to slop that big fucker Braun Strowman. So I'm gonna say, because mystery partners always win, it's definitely going to be 2/3 of the Shield and 1/3 of the Wyatt family.
Yeah. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Hakushi are absolutely going to win that match.
Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and the corpse of Doink the Clown are going to go over the Wyatt family because the Wyatt family can continue to take losses. It doesn't matter. They don't care about wins or losses. I do see, however,
No, let me amend that statement. They don't care about Bray Wyatt, I think is what you're meant to say.
I care about Bray Wyatt. You could potentially have Braun Strowman after the match start taking everyone out, especially Rowan, kind of spin off the two Shield members to their own kind of thing and leave Eric Rowan to go against the Wyatt family, and maybe he'll pick up who the fuck knows, who the fuck cares. Maybe they'll actually
Dallas.
Maybe they'll finally put him out of his misery.
Yeah, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Dean Douglas.
Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Luther Reigns will also be back.
Dean Ambrose, Dean Douglas, and Simon Dean. All right. Intercontinental title, Ryback versus Kevin Owens. Does Owens finally get his WWE singles title?
No, but I'm actually going to pick him to win. I can't help it. I really want the guy to be Intercontinental champion. Ryback has... I like the Ryback, but the Ryback has proven time and time again he probably is not a singles competitor. He probably is not a guy that you want constant on the mic, and he's definitely not a guy you want as a face. He's not that good. He is much better as a heel, the cocky dumbass, not coming up with things like Master of Feed Me More. That doesn't make any sense, dude.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
We're doing rules. What are you doing?
Yeah. We already know that he is far too fucking dangerous to have a main event push. So this is about where he's going to go at this point. I think the match will be incredibly good because Owens is that kind of performer that he'll be able to get a really good performance out of him. I hope against hope that Kevin Dunn gets a gigantic fat cock in his mouth and isn't allowed to say anything to try to change the outcome of this match. And I really hope that Kevin Owens gets the Intercontinental Championship and we finally start building.
I was going to say giant fat blood clot in his brain, but your way works too.
Well, I was hoping he was going to choke on it and then die with a fat cock.
Okay, so we both of our stories end the same way. That's good.
Yeah, the ends justify the means.
Yes, I'm gonna go Kevin Owens, and I want Kevin Owens to be the Intercontinental Champion.
I want Kevin Owens. Tweet me, baby.
It's because that shirt is so shiny. You just can't help yourself.
It is remarkably shiny for a bad guy shirt.
Speaking of shirts, I got an email from WWE Shop today. They were having a special flash sale. A select number of shirts were $10 for today only.
Ooh.
So, and one of those shirts was the Suplex City Boston shirt that I was planning on buying at Monday Night Raw in a couple weeks anyways. So I got it for $16.99 with shipping instead of $30 at the show. So I'm going to call that a victory, and I'm going to wear that on October 5th.
Nice.
So if you're in the Boston area and you see this ugly face walking around with a Suplex City Boston shirt, say hello and buy me lunch.
And then walk up to him and suplex him.
Then yell "Suplex City, bitch," and run away.
Yep.
And I will lie on the ground, writhing in pain, and going, "That was so awesome! All right. Thank you. Somebody actually listens to the show."
Yeah.
All right. Was that me having a stroke or me shitting myself? What was that noise?
A little bit of both.
Now I think you're just being tickled.
It just keeps going.
There's so much poop. Tag team title match. Completely off the rails. New Day versus the Dudley Boys.
As much as I like the Dudleys, I can't see them winning the belts.
I agree. I feel like the Dudleys are in WWE the same way Rhino was in NXT. Is there to look good and then also to make others look good by losing to them.
Yeah, WWE thought they had such an amazing tag team division that they're like, let's get one of the old guys that we used to have.
Yeah.
So no, I think that the Dudleys are here just for this little kind of feud, and then maybe we'll spin them off. Maybe we'll see them journey on down to NXT and
I'll get Reverend
take on-
Devon back.
Yeah. Testify. And then, hey, you know what? We can get Duke Batista back too.
Exactly.
There you go.
Sean says, or as Mike Adamley would say, Supla City.
That's
I
right.
prefer Souffle City myself, but yeah. Divas title: Nikki Bella versus Charlotte.
Nobody cares.
No, if Nikki Bella loses by any means, she loses the Divas Championship. So, like we said 2 weeks ago when Charlotte won Beat the Clock, now that Nikki has the record, Charlotte's obviously going to win.
Yeah. Sadly, the only thing that Nikki Bella was able to do was beat the cock, and that's how she got her title reign.
Hey-o! That's your patented rundown dick joke. That is.
That's rundown approved.
That's right.
I'm
patented that shit.
That's right. I'm going to say that we try a little twin magic again, and Charlotte kicks the fake tits off of Brie Bella, and then proceeds to kick the fake tits off of Nikki Bella.
The only good thing about twin magic when it happens like it did last night and like it did a couple of months ago, is Brie Bella then kneeling on the floor or in the middle of the ring, just pulling tissues out of her shirt. I find that part funny. The rest of it can go die in a goddamn fire, but just the pulling of the tissues. There is something a little hot about her pulling down her trunks just a little bit to show her tattoos. I will say that. Yeah, this needs to die quickly. This needs to be Nikki loses the belt, and then loses her job, or this needs to be Charlotte beats Nikki faster than Charlotte beat Brie and beat the clock.
This needs to be Nikki turns around, kisses Brie Bella, and then gets a brogue kick from Charlotte and gets pinned.
Sean says, if Charlotte wins, she celebrates with her father, Ric Flair. If Nikki wins, she celebrates with her new father, John Laurinaitis.
Is that is that correctly spelled?
I don't know. I already got rid of it, so whatever.
I think there's too many I's in that.
Doesn't matter. They can't see it at home.
Yeah.
U.S. title, Seth Rollins versus John Cena.
This is so stupid.
You mean to
tell me that we had Seth Rollins beat John Cena, have both title belts, and he is most likely going to lose it after a month?
Yeah, I don't want that to happen, obviously. Not just because it's John Cena, but because I like Seth Rollins' character with being with both belts and being the double champion and being the asshole who got a statue is probably one of the best things about Raw right now. Considering most of the rest of it is garbage, as we saw last night. Last night's Raw was the shits, right? It wasn't just me.
So
we started off really promising with the New Day.
Do you remember when
from there?
Do you remember when CM Punk was doing the Summer of Punk?
Yeah.
He was the only entertaining thing about Raw.
Yeah.
The New Day, they're CM Punk from the Summer of Punk. The New Day is the only interesting thing on TV right now. We had Kevin Owens come out for 2 minutes and cut a really good promo and nothing else. Yeah. We have one really good thing going on right now, and it's the New Day.
Yep.
And Rollins and Sting, I've never been a Sting fan. I'm sorry to say.
I will agree that it was exciting to have Sting's first ever match on Monday Night Raw. But the match itself was not that exciting. And then, non-surprisingly, it had no finish and turned into a tag team match that, again,
Yeah. So
what do you want? It was the go-home show for a pay-per-view.
It seems like WWE seems to have forgotten what go-home shows are supposed to be.
Yeah, right?
And like they were even like, yeah, it's the season premiere, and we know we're up against Monday Night Football, but we're gonna tease this huge announcement, and then the announcement was nothing. And then we're also the Miz is gonna tease the fact that I've got huge guests. Get it, they're huge, they're tall, they're taller than me, they're huge. And then that was stupid, and he got thrown out of the ring real quickly, and nobody really cares about the Wyatt family and the Shield fighting again.
It's the season premiere for a show that's on every week. In order to have a premiere, you need to take a break.
Yeah.
You need to have a defined season.
Right. Even if you turned around and were like, we're going to skip SmackDown for just a week. First of all, nobody would notice.
Nobody.
Second of all, then you would finally be like, yeah, it's a season. They could have turned around and that Raw that got snowed out, they could have been like, yeah, we're on hiatus and next week is our season premiere. And everyone would have been like, okay, I guess, sure.
By the way,
more sense than this shit.
Who the fuck decided that the season premiere for Raw happens in September when the show started in January? Why is September the season premiere? And then like the season premiere, whenever they pretend to do a season premiere for SmackDown, it's always in like October or November.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. It also doesn't make a lot of sense that like the season premiere is a week before a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
The whole timing of it all together doesn't make sense. If you turned around and said that the Raw after WrestleMania is our season premiere, I would totally be like, yeah, that makes sense.
That would make 100% sense because WrestleMania is you're called the season finale. That's genius because it's WrestleMania. Yeah. That is the thing that everything rotates around. When you play WWE Universe mode in WWE video games, it starts the night after WrestleMania.
Yeah. So what you're saying is WrestleMania is at best your mid-season finale.
Sean says they gave Sting a win on Monday night, so he won't be 0-2 after Night of Champions. Open your eyes, man. And in order to have a premiere, you need to have a break, says the guy who has season premieres for this very podcast. Yes, and we take a break. We take like 3 or 4 weeks off after starting with Thanksgiving week. Yeah. Asshole.
Yeah, that's right. We also take random unscheduled breaks every once in a while too, when co-hosts are sick or forget to do the podcast.
When nobody shows up.
Yeah.
And then I rant for 10 minutes about WWE 2K15 and nobody's happy.
Yes.
All right. So back to the matter at hand. Seth Rollins versus John Cena for the United States Championship. As much as I don't want it to happen, I think it's obvious and really shitty that John Cena is going to be winning back the United States Championship on Sunday.
Well, see, you can only get one thing. You can either get Nikki Bella losing the championship or John Cena not getting the championship. You can't have both. This is how they do it. They say, "Come here, John."
That's the worst. That's the worst Sophie's Choice I've ever heard.
John, you know we love you. You know that we can't live without you. We have to take the title off your girlfriend. Wait. We're going to take the title off your girlfriend.
You're speaking far too clearly to be impersonating a character with a dick in his mouth.
Oh, I'm sorry.
John, you're gonna win the belt, and Nikki's gonna lose her belt. Sorry. So I'm very sorry, but we had to take the belt off of her. And you're gonna be U.S. champion again, okay? Give me your chest towel.
That is my favorite. That is my favorite new character on the show. It just needs to end. It just needs to end with the phrase, "Have you been drinking pineapple juice?"
That is jizz in your mouth, Murphy.
Perfect. WWE producer.
WWE producer, jizz in your mouth, Murphy.
Yeah. And the main event, presumably, the heavyweight, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match: Seth Rollins versus Sting. Sting is going after the one title he's never held.
I can see this going.
The one singular title in wrestling he's never held.
That's right. I could see this going one of two ways. Either one, we're going to get shenanigans, or we're going to potentially get Sting winning the championship and then having Shamo cash in on him.
Yeah. So that
I'm
they
going to go with shenanigans.
Yeah. I would be very upset if Seth Rollins left with neither title. Would be very upset.
That would be terrible.
I would be very, very upset at that. But I can, for some reason in my head, I can see them giving Sting the WWE Championship just to say that Sting was WWE Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's something they would do, to have that in the history books. Sting, WWE Champion for 3 minutes. If Sting wins, I would say there'd most likely be a cash in.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you're gonna have Sting on pay-per-view much more than as a very special attraction.
Yeah.
But like I said, if Seth Rollins leaves Night of Champions with 0 belts, I will break things. So I am going to hope and pray that Seth Rollins wins and retains the WWE Championship.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be good, to say the least.
Yeah. Let's make one last voicemail check, just to be sure. No new mail. Perfect. So that does it for the rundown for this Tuesday, September 15th, 2015. And fuck Nikki Bella in her stupid dumb face.
That's right.
Go to our Facebook to fill out to click the link to go to the prediction poll and fill out your prediction poll so that you can enter the contest. Although at this point, if you haven't been participating thus far, it's a bit late.
A little bit.
Go to audibletrial.com/rundown for a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial. Atlantic Pro Wrestling returns this Saturday, September 19th at the APW Arena in Newbury, Massachusetts. Elkmania 3 is next Saturday, the 26th, at the Beverly Salem Elks Lodge in Beverly, Mass. Lucky Pro Wrestling presents Fall Frenzy at the Elks Lodge in Maynard, Mass. next Saturday. And Liberty States returns with Fall Fury on October 10th. Follow me on Twitter at Rundown Podcast. I live tweet wrestling when I watch it. Although if we're suddenly doing a podcast on Thursdays, that might cut down on that a little bit.
We'll see.
Send us an email at rundownwrestling@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 206-202-6478. That's 206-20.
Next.
Like us on Facebook. Tell your parents and your grandparents to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/rundownwrestling. To make a donation of the monetary variety, go to rundown.podomatic.com and click the PayPal donate button on the right-hand side of the page. That's rundown.podomatic, PODOMATIC.com. If you donate $50, you can leave a personal message that I will deliver right here on the show. To watch archived episodes, go to youtube.com/rundown podcast. To circle me on Google+, go to google.com/+AdamRundownHost. Feeling constipated? Get some relief at tinyurl.com/distant horizons and support another different podcast at shadowvane.net, VANE, shadowvane.net, and patreon.com/shadowvane. Search for us on iTunes under the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. If you subscribe, you get the podcast delivered to you absolutely free each and every week for $0.00. If you cannot afford a monetary donation, leave a 5-star review because that helps other people find us. If you leave a text review, we will read your name and your text review at the end of a future episode. We are also available on Stitcher, also free, Stitcher.com or the Stitcher app on your iOS or Android device. Again, the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. Do what you must. Thanks to Tegan Brown for the logo. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks to Sean and other Adam on the side. Troy is dancing for those of you listening at home. And it distracted me for a second. Thanks to Troy.
Thank you.
Thanks to Sal and good old JR for the voicemails. And thanks to I Fight Dragons at ifightdragons.com for the theme song.
Keep fighting, boys.
Next week, Night of Champions results. Hopefully, I will not be too pissed off at the outcome to host the show. We'll see what happens. And as always, Jacob, good night and good luck. And tune in next week for another mercilessly sarcastic episode.
Yes.
Of the Rundown.
Wow.
Bye-bye.
Click.
Clickety click. My ears are hot.
Welcome to Facebook. Post to your new page now.
Pen 15 Club.
No, it was a different one.
You have a different new page other than the Pen 15 Club?
Baby.
How many pages are you managing?
At this point, 3.
Oh, dear.
And this one it might only be for the one joke.
Oh, God. What have you done?
What have I done?
What have you done?
Hey, we got a new comment on our Google Plus Hangout. On Facebook.
On Facebook. Oh, okay. Oh, Lord. Hey, a lot of shit on here. Troy shared my post. People commented on my photo.
That's nice of them.
My adorable baby.
Oh, adorable. Adorbs.
And Jizz in Your Mouth Murphy commented on the link rundown. That is a fantastic picture. I approve of this show. I wish I was on more, though. I like that you made that a page and not like a person. I tried to make that a person.
He's a person. If you go to his page, it says, let's see, where is it? It says his community. I put him in as a business person.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is why you shouldn't let me on the show.
I love it. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Now I have to make sure I don't comment on him on anything other than that, though. Now he's in the drop down. I might accidentally click on him.
You have to save that for very specific jokes.
That's right.
All right, Pen 15 Club. Okay, back to this. What the hell was I doing over here? That's right. Noise removal. Noise removal. Some cats are being assholes across the room. I don't have anything to throw at him.
Whoop.
I got him to go away.
Oh, using troublesome. Oh, that's right. I was going to look.
What are you going to look for?
I'm going to look at what I can do for Gmail.
Oh, right. Yeah, the best I could find was stopping this broadcast right now.
Oh,
later, bitches.
Little bitches. Oh, I probably shouldn't log out while I'm on this thing, should I?
I don't know. I don't know what would happen then. You can do switch account and then do create new though. You can do that. So
I'm just gonna see if I can do it on my phone.
this is the business side.